So we flip the top four and put Simon Fallon, the young man from Mornington, on pole position. And he'll be up against Will Brown, who's still waiting for a race win this championship. He's definitely hungry now, I think, Cam.
I'd say that's an understatement. And Nick Rowe will be right behind him, Jordan Love. Tyler Everingham, and I know we speak highly of him because he's only 15, but that was a great little move across the line. He'll start P5. Josh Conroy in his second race in Formula 4. Jack Smith, Josh Denton. Unfortunately, Brenton Grove had to come in. There was a little bit of a front-end issue after that massive repair. They found that there's something not quite fixed, and that's been fixed now. So let's see how many spots Brenton can make up. Grove higher there, which we actually saw on the front of Scott McLaughlin's helmet as well. Yeah. They like to back winners.
Personal sponsor of McLaughlin. And McLaughlin does usually drive the Carrera Cup rounds with Steve Grove, but it's going to be Lee Holdsworth driving in Carrera Cup with Steve Grove this year. Will Brown's got the clear visor on as well. Probably starts this race as the favourite. He was looking very fast in that earlier race. Just has that little issue downshifting sometimes, and hopefully he doesn't make that mistake in this race.
Yeah, so just to clarify that, what happens in these cars, it has a bit of a throttle fail-safe. So because the driver's left foot brake, so if they brake and they've still got a fair bit of throttle percentage on, then the computer thinks it must be a jammed throttle and cuts the engine. So it's a little bit of driver technique and a little bit of just trying to tweak that system to allow the drivers to have a little bit of throttle without it cutting the engine out. So Will Brown is by far the most consistent guy so far this year without a race win, but he's doing it on the front row here.
Just waiting for Fallon. You don't really know where that line is ahead of you. It looks so easy from where we're sitting, but he just needs to move forward a little bit further. 25th race of Australian Formula 4 already. So this championship getting some good ground as we get set for race 2 this weekend. Reverse top 4. Will Brown, watch out for Fallon. Hopefully he gets it off the line cleanly. He does. Nick Rowe got a pretty good start in behind him, but Will Brown has put pedal to the metal and moves cleanly into the lead. I wonder if Jordan Love's got the bravery to go flat around the outside on the first lap. Well, he gets pushed to the inside there because the guys ahead of him were arguing the point. Fallon slots into second, so he's weathered the storm nicely there with a really good start. But Nick Rowe will know that he needs to get to second down at turn 4. He needs to get to second as soon as he can.
Absolutely. He's a little bit further back, so, you know, good start by Simon Fallon. Probably bogged down slightly more than Will Brown. But Nick Rowe needs to get past him if he's to run with Will Brown, because he's going to have Jordan Love right in his mirrors. So, no, good clean braking down there. And there's Joshua Denton making his way back. Just takes one spot ahead of Jack Smith and Brenton Grove at the rear. So, Brown's got a little bit of a gap, but not too much. I should say Fallon's still running with him pretty well.
Yeah, doing a really good job. He's a natural in this car, Simon Fallon. We can expect to see him maybe even winning races before the end of the year. If he's this good on debut, then surely he's just going to get better and better. Will Brown's got the perfect start, but this is the corner coming up here where he made that little error in race 1. No such error this time through. Fallon hanging on to second, leading the Burson Rookie Award nicely here as well, but he is going to be ganged up on down here at the end of the straight, or even before that.
Yeah, nice over and under trick. So we saw in race 1, Nick Rowe was really strong out of MG corner. He was able to get the power down a little bit earlier, and this has actually made Fallon vulnerable. It looks like Love's going to get a tow now, so just lost a bit of momentum there. Well, he's able to actually keep that position, so Love now switches to the inside.
We saw him do plenty of good moves around the outside, but can he get up the inside, rolls out of that one and loses a lot of front aero. Look at that car wash up mid-corner. So it skids forward, and Fallon hangs on to that third position at the moment in behind Nick Rowe, but it's the leader of Will Brown who's skipping away 8.5 tenths up the road.
Oh, see, I don't know what Nick Rowe was doing then. He was like looking down in the cabin at something, whether something's wobbling. The radio cord comes down under the steering wheel. I don't know, it was like something wasn't quite right there, but still holds on to P2, although Fallon's closed right up behind him. Jordan Love and Joshua Conroy, good start for him at running P5 at the moment, so he's not far off the back of Jordan Love.
Wow, Fallon's doing himself proud here to start on the front row on the reverse grid race with the fast guys right in there with him, and he's going with them in the early stages. So too Tyler Everingham. What a bright star he is, and Josh Conroy actually, that is, sorry, in 5th. So we haven't seen much of Conroy this weekend, but 2 dream cars are inside the top 5. Love desperate to get around the 97, the 27 ahead of him here.
rudely showing that yellow number plate as a rookie in the series. So just started in Formula Ford. State karting champion, Simon Fallon. So strong karting pedigree like all of these drivers.
Here we go. Let the games begin down the front straight. Fallon v Love, Victorian versus West Australian. Both teenagers, both in high school. A year 12 student goes past the year 11 student. Down towards turn 1, should get the job done this time, and has. So the race 1 winner moves through to third. He's got a bit of work to do here if he wants to win this one, Cameron. He's looking for 4 straight wins, trying to equal Jordan Lloyd's record of 4 straight wins set last year.
On board with Tyler Everingham.
So, yeah, fighting with Denton here.
Yeah, chasing Joshua Denton. So opted for a gear higher there through turn 2. So not downshifting at all. So running 4th gear. Hard on the brakes here. Nearly to the 100, about 120 metre mark. Very smooth driver. Picking up the throttle nicely there.
Very calm for someone his age. 4th gear. Back to 2nd. Late turn in and early on the power through Siberia. 160 horsepower, so you're not too worried about putting down too much power and spinning out at the exit of the corner. Flat through the hay shed. And this is the corner where Brent Grove had that big crash yesterday. Tyler, a lot more conservative.
Really smooth, isn't he? So the aggression, or just trying to then hustle the car a little bit, will come with more laps. So to go quicker now, he's just got to get off the brake a bit earlier, pick up the throttle a bit earlier, and just try and increase that mid-corner speed, which a car with aerodynamics and downforce just takes lots of laps to learn just how hard you can push, not coming in or out, but in that mid part of the corner.
It's a tough track to learn at. You learn by making mistakes. We saw that yesterday for 1 or 2 drivers, and the fast times are toppling here. Love is on a charge. That time he's the fastest driver in P3. There you go, confirmation, 135.2 though. Oh, Everingham's having a moment. He got the inside curb there, but he held it.
He went through there flat, but actually got the right front on the grass. The car turned in that well, and he did the right thing. He didn't come right off the throttle. Had he lifted drastically, he may have been facing the wrong way. So it's a good little recovery, small moment. But yeah, Nick Rowe, 35.44. So he actually gained a 10th back on Will Brown at the moment. So in Jordan Love, 35.22. So the front 3 are closing right up.
Great onboard lap there with a young star, Tyler Everingham. Now, if you're Nick Rowe, you're 2nd, you're trying to catch the leader, but you've got 8 tenths to make up. I just wonder if it'd be better actually letting Jordan Love go through, because there's a good chance that Love could catch Will Brown.
I agree, good theory. Oh, Love with that lock-up again. Just not sure Nick's up for letting another BRM car through, but you're right. If they can actually, if he can't quite get up to Will Brown, the idea of letting Jordan tow him back up there is not such a bad plan. So we'll see. I don't expect that you'd think Nick will put up a big fight here. Particularly Jordan Love just seems to be the quickest car on the track this weekend.
Will Brown would like nothing more than to watch these two go to war for a couple of laps. Are we going to see Love's signature move to the outside? Oh, you've got to be careful moving lines in the braking area. And they hold their positions. 4 tenths of a second now, the difference. I think Rowe made his intentions clear. Just there, he is not going to be making this one easy for Jordan Love.
That's for sure, but a 34.6, so he actually put 6 tenths of a second on the field, Jordan Love, or on Nick Rowe and Will Brown, so he was 6 tenths faster than any other driver that last lap, so it's going to be very hard to keep him behind with 6 laps still to run in this race 2 for the weekend. I think Will's just quite comfortably controlling the speed there, running around mid-35. You'd think that Will should be able to bash out a 34 if he needs to.
That car set the lap record here with a 34.5 last year in the hands of a young man that's off doing US F2000 this year, Jordan Lloyd, our outgoing champion. Oh, around goes Rowe, and he'll find the fence.
That's not a big contact, nothing like we saw with Brenton Grove, because he's obviously lost the car early. It looked like he went out really wide to just attack the corner.
He might be able to get this started again.
Yeah, he should be able to, although not sure if he's got too much damage. He could well be on the radio. So let's have a look. Has he dropped the left rear? He's just gone out wide, hasn't he? That's a real rare mistake from Nick Rowe. He's probably the most experienced driver in the field. Not a big contact. That'll be a front wing, I would imagine. Nose box should be okay with that minor contact, and we could well see a safety car, but with a bit of luck, we'll continue with 5 laps to run. Now he's got it started now. So just you can see the actuator moving at the back there, just trying to get a gear to get moving. So a real weird one. Just maybe stayed out a little too wide, got right off the grippy part of the track, but a rare mistake for Nick Rowe.
And it will have big championship implications too, because he was desperate to get as many points back on the lead group as he could. And he's going to hemorrhage some points in this race at least.
This is a good battle for P4 now with our safety car. So we've got the safety car boards and flags being shown. Looks like he can't get that one back, unfortunately. What a shame for Nick Rowe. Took out the pole position award for the weekend and was sitting second on points. But going to be a good little battle here between Denton and Conroy.
Brown and Love.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Brown's just lost his lead. And a restart with slipstreaming, he'll be vulnerable. He needs to make a really good restart, but we're thinking too far ahead at the moment. Hopefully we can get that car moved in a hurry and get another at least 1 or 2 laps in here.
Yeah, safety car just leaving pit exit now, so we'll pick up Will Brown as he comes around. Jordan Love in the background. Simon Fallon finds himself up into P3 and actually currently 3rd on points for the weekend, so good start for him. So safety car just stationary as the guys are just coming onto the front straight now.
I'll tell you what, when your main championship rivals are 1st and 2nd, you can ill afford a DNF. And that's what's happened there for Nick Rowe. It's going to cost him dearly.
It looked like it was very close to dropping the right rear off the road. So the cars go right out to get a nice sort of V effect at the top of Lukey Heights. But certainly didn't drop from that camera angle, didn't drop the right rear off the road, but perhaps just left that turn in a little bit too late and lost rear grip. So as I say, just surprising to see Nick Rowe, have a spin on his own, because he's done a ripping job last year in the championship. He's raced at the Bathurst 12-hour, does a lot on the gravel. The Karratha kid. Yep. Certainly one of the favourites for this year's championship.
The good news is that car isn't in the gravel, so it might be easier to retrieve because the floor sits so low on these cars, you can't just tow them straight out of the gravel. But that car isn't in the gravel, it's on the grass, so that might help us.
They seem to be designing a plan with not much action there at the moment. They're talking about it, but there's nothing going on, so we just need to pull it out of the way, get it out of harm's way, so we can hopefully get 2 laps of racing in this one. It is a time-certain race.
Our officials do such a good job volunteering at different tracks around the country. And on a day like today, when it's cold and blustery, it's hard work out there. So they'll be doing their best to get Nick Rowe's car out, and hopefully we do so with enough time to get some racing back on the circuit. Hopefully this doesn't finish behind the safety car, because it would be great to see Brown and Love fight for the victory.
Yeah, this is a little too slow, unfortunately, and we know the officials and the Pyark recovery team do a great job, but would have preferred that car to be out of the way by now so the drivers can get a couple of laps of racing, but I'm sure they're doing their best under the circumstances. So, yeah, certainly for a single-seater, the ideal is to actually have a crane truck when the car's broken, but it is tricky to tow them with the floor. The floor sits a lot lower than the nose of the car, so about 15 mil off the ground. The nose is a bit over 50 mil high at the front. So 4 to go as it shows at the moment. Will Brown for Cars Galore, our Rookie of the Year winner from 2015, and certainly started the season as the favourite. He will be 2nd overall on points at the moment, with Jordan Love leading on 44. Simon Fallon finds himself in 3rd on 27. And Josh Conroy looking good, 4th at the moment. And I don't have to close my eyes or 1 lap dash. So, look, the Hankook tyre does retain a fair bit of heat, and they all seem to be working that tyre quite hard. So let's hope we have a nice clean 1 lap screamer to the end. One more race tomorrow after the V8 Supercars for F4.
Okay, you're 2nd in the race right now. You're Jordan Love. It's your teammate. Do you try and get the lead of the race on the restart down towards turn 1? Or do you wait until the checkered flag? It's going to be a one-lap race. Do you try and do it at the stripe at the end of the next lap?
Well, firstly, you say we come out of the same team, but we race for each other. That's what I'd be thinking, you know. But it's going to be an embarrassing debrief if I make contact. So you'd be looking at it. Hopefully the team is saying, you know, you're 4 points up for the round. So he's leading the round, doesn't have to do anything silly. But most likely, I think into Honda's the spot to do it. It's going to be very hard. What Will Brown will do will just slow the cars right up and try and get a slingshot. So it'll be very hard to make it pass into turn 1. However, I think he's quite vulnerable down at Honda. So we'll see what happens.
All right, no more weaving, no speeding up and slowing down from this point. Will Brown paces the field. He has to continue at that speed the whole way back around to the stripe. Safety car has left them early at the hay shed. Nerves building. We are going to have a one-lap sprint. It's not even a green-white checker. It's just a green checker. Straight away, it'll be on.
He's going really slow. So 80 kilometres an hour, he can maintain or accelerate, but can't decrease. So he's got to maintain. It's close to 80 kilometres an hour, which looks slower, but for a race car, 80 is pretty slow. And then as soon as Will Brown sees green flag, go, 100% throttle. So he's waiting. There's yellows still there. So safety car should be well and truly in pit lane. Let's listen for the throttle.
Waiting. When does he go? He's off.
And look at that. That's exactly what a smart racer does. He bottles the field up, waits to the last minute, go. There's the safety cushion he's got, and can let the rest scrap behind him, hopefully.
But there's a good toe down the front straight for Love to close the gap. This will be the last lap. Race 2, the 25th race in Cam's Jayco Formula 4. Brown goes defensive towards turn 1. We've got a race between the teammates. Team BRM at the front. The outside at turn 2 is not going to be the spot, but turn 4 could definitely be the go.
Jordan Love looks racy. He's set the fastest lap of the race. 34.6 by a long margin, about 8/10 quicker than anyone. Although Will Brown's got off this turn 2 quite well. So is he close enough into Honda?
No would be the answer. Denton on the defensive side from Conroy. Tyres locking down there. Oh no, Fallon's gone wide. He was doing so well, Cam.
I think he just had that slight lock up. You could hear the screech. It was hard to see who it was coming from. So that's actually moved Denton up into 3rd, and I think Josh Conroy has got through as well. Yeah, Fallon all the way back to P6. Can you believe it? With Brenton Grove right under his gearbox.
Last time over the top. We'll have one final race tomorrow after the V8 Supercars. Race 2 for Cam's Jayco Formula 4. 25th race that we've seen in this category. And it's going to come down to the front straight. Love needs to get a really good toe through the final corner. Keep it flat. Is the lead big enough for Brown? I think he might be home here. Here comes Jordan. He's trying to break the toe. On the stripe. No. Brown holds on. Gets the win. Good restart. Held his nerve. Held off his teammate. BRM will win 5 straight races. That's a record now in the category. Will Brown takes his 2nd race win. He had to wait a while because he won the first one. 24 races later, he finally gets to the top again.
And a well-deserved one. Jordan Love, gee, got a mega toe off that last corner. Josh Denton in for 3rd. Joshua Conroy, a great drive for him up into P4. Smith, and I feel bad for Simon Fallon, just dropping off there towards the end.
Yeah, that's a real shame, but that is a good job by Josh Conroy, who has picked up his best race result. Smith inside the top 5, just like he was down at Symmons Plains, and Nick Rowe. What a shame.